Okay guys, so this should be a fun video today. We have a small little box over here that I have been waiting for about 2 weeks now, and I'm very excited for this one because I traded a bunch of sneakers for this. The sneakers that I did trade were all pretty like well invested shoes. Like I believe that the list over here, you can kind of check it out, was a Jordan 1 Travis Scott DS, a Nike SB Chunky Dunky DS as well, and then the last one was a Travis Scott SB Dunk Low as well, also in dead stock condition. And these are like extra shoes that I had in my storage and stuff, so I decided to, you know, like actually get rid of them and trade up for something different. So this is what's gonna be in this box today. It might be a shoe, it might not. You guys are gonna have to wait to see what it is, man, but I'm excited for sure. And I'm thinking that this is probably gonna be a better long-term investment than all three of those combined, but we're gonna have to see. And when you guys see it, you're gonna freak out. This is like a really big video for me, so if I get overly excited, I'm gonna let you know now. This is why. And so in this box over here, we will take out all of this and take a look at this thing, dude. Very securely packed. So definitely not a shoe. It's in a smaller box. Dude, I'm so excited. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay. So the sneakerhead in me ended up selling those shoes for this bad boy right here. Tudor. It's a watch for sure, if you guys know your watches and stuff. And I was kind of spurred to get this one by a friend of mine. And I'll tell you guys that story after I open this up. It does come in another case, which you guys can see like this. This is what the case looks like. Pretty interesting. Different than a shoebox, obviously. And deep breath. Boom. Oh my goodness. This thing is beautiful. Okay, so I'm really excited over this, dude. I'm very excited. So this is the watch that I got. You guys can check that out up close. That is a Tudor Black Bay, and it's also an exclusive collab with Harrods, or Harrods, I don't know, something like that in the UK. Nice green face over there. And I will show you guys up close all the details and stuff, but let me tell you a little bit about why I wanted to cop this watch, what it means for like investments, and like how much money I think this could potentially be down the line. So the reason why I copped this watch was just because I was talking to a good friend of mine, and it's actually the person who's I talked about him on a previous video. He's the guy that has a bunch of like strong investment shoes. Like he has 4 pairs of the Paris Dunks. He has like crazy watches, dude. Like $500,000 watches, $1 million watches. This dude is like big time, and he knows how to invest in things. So I take a lot of advice from there. So he told me, you know, like, you got the kid on the way and stuff, you know, your kid's coming soon, you got a whole bunch of like space that's being taken up by shoes in your house, so you got to get rid of them and like, you know, kind of like downsize so you have more space, but at the same time reinvest it into something else. So he was telling me about the watch game and stuff, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I don't know much about it, but I did my research, like was looking up a bunch of YouTube videos, doing research online, finding out what watch brands are like resellable and what is profitable, and we came to the conclusion that this one is going to be a good one. This Harrods edition Tudor, if you guys don't know what Tudor is, it's basically like the baby company or sister company, I guess, of Rolex. So Rolex like owns Tudor, but they created like 2 separate companies because this is supposed to be like the not as expensive Rolex brand. So it's a little bit cheaper, but still you got all of that Rolex quality. I think literally all of the internal workings and stuff are exactly the same, save for like 1 or 2 different minor changes, but for the most part, exactly the same. And because it is linked to that Rolex name, and because Tudor by itself as a brand is a very expensive brand, it does have resale value. We ended up getting this one because it was a collab piece. Usually with watches, once they stop like production, usually like I think after like 3 or 4 years of being in production, they'll stop it and cease it and they won't make it again. Obviously that's when the prices will rise the most, so that's what I'm waiting for. Also, I just really wanted this as like a piece for myself, you know, like if you guys didn't know, I do have my own company now. It's called High Connect Studios, and I've been talking to a lot of people, and like when you're in the business world, and I guess I'm quote unquote the CEO of that business, you have to have like a certain like image, I guess. So the watch game and like business is super huge apparently. So I did that whole concept of like you got to spend money to make money thing. So I wanted to get something that was like a little bit better than the watches that I'm wearing now. The watches that I'm wearing now are like $300-400. We traded like $5,500 worth of shoes for this. Wearing this is gonna be crazy for me. I gotta make sure that I like look the part of like a CEO business person though, so that's why I invested in this. Let me show you a couple of other things that comes with this, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have not seen this before, myself included, so I'll go over the whole box with you. Okay, so I will leave the watch over here so you guys can see it plain as day. This is like the card, I guess, authentication card that shows you it is from Tudor. Gives you the serial number, the model number, so you do definitely want to keep this. You guys can see it was bought at Harrods London, and yeah, I guess it was sold on September 1st, 2019. Edition number 3012. So again, very small run. That's not that much watches. We'll set that on the side and we'll take a look at the watch last, but let's see what else is in this box. I don't see anything coming out of here, but there is like a little opening that you can do here. And this is all super nice. It's like felt or whatever. And this is like the extra, like, I guess watch band that you can use for this. So it does come with like OG all. I guess it's more of like a just lifestyle kind of thing. It's not as flashy with like, you know, the chain link. So a little bit different, but that also comes included in here. Again, Tudor, you guys can see it has like a green face. It kind of has like those Rolex vibes, which is very recognizable, right? Like the large dial, very iconic. It is very simplistic, a minimalistic design. It says Tudor over here, and it's a pretty basic watch when you guys think of what a watch is, right? But at the same time, like it does have a luxury feel to it, which I think is really, really dope. And for the watch game, what I didn't know and what I didn't realize is that it's a very, very popular community. Like if you guys search up on YouTube, like watches and stuff, people are getting like hundreds of thousands of views on these things. I don't know how many people can actually afford this stuff, but there's people watching these videos. And what I've been hearing from like my friends in like the investment game and stuff is, and I'm gonna say this quote for quote, this was not my quote, this was their quote: sneaker collecting and sneaker reselling is a boys game. When you switch to watches and watch collecting, that's when you become a man. So I don't know about that, man. Shoes are more of like a passion and stuff, so it's definitely not seen as much of like investment pieces and stuff. But I can definitely see why the watch game is like a whole nother level. Like the minimum like starting prices for Rolexes, I think, are like $10,000 and up, and those are for like the lower class ones. Some of the watches in the game, like Jacob and company, dude, these watches are like minimum like $500,000, like insane watches, and they look crazy. Whole bunch of weird timepiece stuff. I'm getting into it just because I really think it's cool, and I want to try to like downsize the collection, invest in something else, get a more professional look. I'm getting older, right? I can't be wearing like chunky dunky shoes and stuff anymore. It just doesn't really match like an older gentleman. So that's why I have to switch it up, and this is what I switched to. I will be wearing this, and that's the other good thing about watches as well. Just like shoes, if you wear it and you guys keep it in good condition, then they can still maintain good value and actually go up in value even if it's worn. So it should retain value, and I'm expecting returns of like a couple $1,000s, maybe like 5 years from now. It's not a short-term flip. If you guys are like into reselling and stuff, focus on sneakers if you guys don't have like a lot of capital and stuff behind it, because sneakers can be quick flipped and you guys can make money really quickly, and it costs a lot less capital to like start up. This, like I said, is like a $5,500 watch, I think. And even at retail, it was like $3,000 or something. So it created some value on it. I'm expecting it to continue to rise, but whatever. For me, I think this is really dope, and I'm just happy that I have this one. I guess I should put it on the wrist to see if it like fits and all of that stuff, man. I'm like nervous though. And do you mind if I tell you guys a quick story right before we like end this video? I used to have like a huge thing for watches. I really, really loved watches, and one of the like most important watches that I ever received in my life was from my dad, actually. And it was like my graduation gift, I guess he said, from high school. And as you guys have heard the stories like and stuff before, I don't come from like a family with a lot of money and whatnot. So when my dad told me, you know, like, hey, let's go in the store and like buy you a watch, I was really like, you sure? Like, I don't need a graduation gift. I wasn't expecting anything or whatever. And I know like people in the mainland like usually get like cars and stuff, but my dad spent like $200 on like a Nixon watch, and I just really, really like appreciated that, because it was just a really good gesture and stuff. And it wasn't like the craziest watch, but it did kind of start to spur my love for like watches and like sentimental value of watches, you know, like these things can become like family heirlooms for people. So hopefully down the line, if I don't sell this one, I can give it to my son, or, you know, pass it down to like the family and stuff, because it should keep appreciating in value down the line. I do need to get it resized, or like, you know, take off some chain links, because this thing's a little bit big, as you guys can see, but that's kind of what it'll look like, dude. Looks really nice against the tattoo. And if you guys didn't know, I actually got the tattoo like this because I wanted to wear watches, and that's why it stops up over here. You know, if you guys can see that, it was all premeditated for my like tattoo sleeve. Literally where it ends is where I was planning to wear watches. So that's why I didn't go all the way through. It would cover up the ink, it might rub it down. So that's literally why it stops right there. Fun fact for you guys. Anyway, this is the unboxing. Sorry if it's a little bit different than what you guys were expecting, but I thought it would be cool to open it up on the channel for you guys, show you guys like what kind of changes are happening in my life, and like what my different like investment strategies are for reselling and just collecting and whatnot. I'm not going to become a watch channel just because I can't afford to buy more than one of these things at a time. Maybe down the line, but not now. But yeah, it was just a really cool piece, and you guys will be seeing this like on wrist not on feet, but on wrist in future episodes. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and making things like this possible, dude. Like, it blows my mind every time when we get like crazy stuff, like not only sneakers, but like these insane watches. Like I said, I was rocking a $200 watch for a very, very long time, and I thought that was expensive in terms of like, you know, just a watch. So we've come a long way, and I thank you guys for that. So thank you guys so much, and as always, guys, please, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button before you leave. It goes a long way in helping the channel, and until next time, guys, stay humble, stay blessed, take care, and I will see you on the next episode. Aloha, shoots!